So I first met Will at the Tiny House Festival at Ponce City Market, and then I came across this rendering of a site plan of this community, and it had all different house sizes and a farm. It looked so walkable. It seemed like it was really designed for the person and for the family. And I thought, wow, how can we get something like this in Clarkston? And standing right next to the site plan was Will Johnston, smiling at me saying, hey, how you doing? We had a conversation over some chicken shawarma and some falafel, and hatched this plan to build the first tiny home, cottage home community in Clarkston, certainly, but now, as we know, in Georgia.
So I got involved with MicroLife Institute as a city council person. The idea was brought up by one of my council members, and it was a great feel for what we were trying to do. We were trying to find a solution to basically not having enough affordable housing options or alternative housing options in our city.
The problem was, it turned out at the time, is the Clarkston ordinances weren't really set up for a tiny home community. There were minimum house sizes, which are bigger than anything you see around here. I think it was around 650 square feet. You couldn't build anything smaller than that. And you had to build on a certain sized lot. The lot had to be, I think, at least several thousand square feet. And there had to be a certain number of parking spaces, at least two parking spaces for each house. And there were other problems, like you couldn't, for example, when you had a community like this, you couldn't have everyone own their own lot. Everyone just had to own a percentage of the lot as a whole. And all these were barriers, obviously.
Yeah, so as a city council person, we went back and forth with MicroLife on the concept, on what it looked like, on some of the zoning requirements, what is buildable, the size of the units, and then coming to the input sessions where before, when this was just all dirt, we had constituents of the community come to the street to kind of give input on what they wanted to see.
So then I worked with Will and Kim to go through our ordinance and make all the changes we needed in order to let their houses be smaller, to let them be on smaller lots, to reduce the parking requirements, to change it so they could actually own the part of the land instead of owning percentage. And all those changes ultimately made it possible for them to build this community.
We are a solar installation company out of Atlanta, Georgia. So we are a mission-driven company. That's very important to us because we want to make sure solar is affordable for all. Not building a sustainable community and homes should not be an option, because with all the natural disasters we see around us, it's not just about my children. It's about future generations. Meeting Will and MicroLife and Tiny Home and Kim and the Nest, everything they do is aligned with what we believe in. So it was very much of a natural partnership for us.
In this case, we designed 4 smaller arrays to fit the square footage and the size of the house. So the 8-panel design is capable of generating optimally about 12-13 kilowatt hours a day. But in a home like this, that should produce about a quarter to a third of the need of the power consumption.
My name is Don Bennett. I'm the commercial sales manager at Gamasonic Solar Lighting. We design, develop, and manufacture solar lighting for neighborhoods, parks, and communities across the United States. We were interested in this project specifically for the sustainability. When we talk about the tiny home project, it's really about community and sustainability, and that's exactly what our products do. They are a sustainable light source powered by the sun, so we're able to give light to communities, to common areas, parks, so that people can gather. Our product is 100% off the grid, so we don't use any electrical wiring. It allows us to not have to worry about permitting through the city.
So as civil engineers, we prepared the civil engineering drawings and assisted in permitting. So civil engineering drawings would mean we did the site layout, the grading, hydrology, erosion control plans, tree protection plans, and then helped lead the permitting efforts with the city of Clarkston and DeKalb County. I think one of the challenges, and it also made it exciting, is this site was completely undeveloped. This was a green site full of trees. There was no sewer connection. There's really no road to it. We had a dead-end road that ended just short of the project. So, it literally had everything. How do we figure out drainage? What trees do we protect? How do we get sewer to it? It was just great to see people here and happy and, living in their new home. So it's gratifying. It helps remind me It's why I do, what I do.
Just people like me, builders. How do I make money doing something like this? Well, the smaller homes are actually very profitable. The price per square foot is higher, and I think the market will embrace that. I mean, the apartment market has embraced it for the last 5-10 years. I mean, you can very easily find a studio apartment in a brand new luxury right on the Beltline, that's 450 square feet, smaller than one of these homes, but the rent is $1,900. To make the housing market more affordable, it really is a matter of zoning. The only real way that we can do it unsubsidized by the federal government or local government or philanthropic or whatever is to have the politicians allow projects just like this. That's what we need to have happen. Because then there will be people other than mission-driven builders like me that will actually get into this. I mean, I can scale up and do a bunch, but I can't as a company, our company cannot change the city of Atlanta alone. It would have to be the broader market, and the only way the broader market will understand is when other companies like mine will look at this and say, I can make more money doing this than I can building the big house.
For my role, I feel like I had 1% role, but sometimes that 1% can really be the make or break. And so I think this really just is hopefully an opportunity for elected leaders to realize that they themselves have the power to create the future housing community and the neighborhoods that we want to live in. They also have the power to completely stop it and to keep us in the past. And we've got to evolve, we've got to prepare ourselves, whether it's climate change, income inequality. These are the opportunities we can bring forward by having more creative housing solutions. Making no changes is not an option. Make some changes. You don't got to change everything, but evolve and move forward because the people will be happier, and thank you for it.